Hey guys, what's going on? Darren here from the Strategy Cantina, and today I'll be covering the Evacuation of D'qar. The Evacuation of D'qar was an evacuation turned battle fought between the Resistance, led by Commander Poe Dameron and General Leia Organa, against the First Order, led by General Hux, in the year 34 ABY. If the First Order won, it would mean the complete destruction of the Resistance and the loss of the war. The battle started as 3 First Order Resurgent-class Star Destroyers entered orbit over D'qar, catching the Resistance mid-evacuation, after a small fleet led by our beloved fishman, Admiral D'qar, may he forever rest in peace, had arrived to evacuate the Resistance after the events of Starkiller Base. Then the First Order Mandator-class Dreadnought entered orbit, which had a massive cannon mounted to the bottom. The Resistance had a stroke of luck though, because this Dreadnought would have been a huge surprise and probably would have meant the end of the Resistance if it hadn't been for Inferno's squadron, who had delivered the ship's blueprints to Leia only a few minutes ago, which had allowed the Resistance to discover the Dreadnought's weak point. By time for a super thruster mounted on his X-Wing to charge, Poe Dameron stole General Hux in a
about his mother
effective way until his thruster reached maximum charge. He then engaged the thruster, speeding towards the Dreadnought. After safely reaching the Mandator-class Dreadnought, Poe proceeded to systematically destroy the deck cannons of the Dreadnought, as his X-Wing was too small, too agile, and too close to be hit by those cannons. With only one cannon left, 2 TIE Fighter squadrons were launched from the Dreadnought. One scored a hit and disabled Poe's weapon systems. As BB-8 was trying to get them back, the Mandator's cannons fired on the Resistance base, which had just seconds ago been completely evacuated. The base was completely obliterated. With the entire Resistance safely evacuated, Leia ordered Poe to return so they could leave the system. Poe disobeyed the order and called for the bomber to destroy the Dreadnought. At the time this seemed foolish, but as it would later be shown, Poe's choice to disobey Leia's orders saved the Resistance in the long run. By now, BB-8 had gotten the weapon systems back online, and Poe destroyed the last cannon of the Dreadnought. With 7 Resistance MG-100 Star Fortress bombers exiting hyperspace, along with a squadron of A-Wings and X-Wings. With the First Order TIEs engaging the fighters and bombers, they began to fall. With the base now destroyed, the Dreadnought began to reload and target the Raddus, which was the Resistance's massive ship, the MC-85 cruiser. During the fighting, a TIE fighter was hit and crashed straight into the open bomb bay of one of the bombers. The bomber had all its bombs live, so it exploded like a firework. Unfortunately, the debris of the bomber caused a domino effect with 2 other bombers, leaving only one left alive. With only 40 seconds left until the cannons recharged, the last bomber moved over the Dreadnought, but the rear gunner, Paige, ended up being the only surviving crew member. So as the bomber began to drop towards the Dreadnought, she released the bombs right over the weak point, which were magnetically propelled towards it. The bomber made contact with the weak point, destroying the Dreadnought and the bomber. The Dreadnought destroyed Poe, and the remains of Blue Squadron returned to the Raddus, and the Resistance left the system. Unknown to the Resistance, the First Order had developed hyperspace tracking, but the Resistance was not out of blue yet. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of the Evacuation of D'qar. If you like this video, let me know, and I might do a video of how I would actually have won the Battle of D'qar. As First Order, obviously. Join me next Sunday for another Battle Breakdown. Bye everyone.